Hi everyone, and welcome to Lake Oswego United Church of Christ. My name is Adam Erickson, and today I want to talk with you about a passage that we're going to be exploring this Sunday, October 30th at church. It's from Luke chapter 19, verses 1 through 10, and it's about a man named Zacchaeus. You may have heard of him.
Zacchaeus was a wee little man was he. He climbed up in a sycamore tree for the Lord he wanted to see. And as the Savior passed that way, he looked up in the tree. And he said, "Zacchaeus, you come down. For I'm going to your house today. For I'm going to your house today."
So there are a couple of things that you can explore with your family after you've read the passage out loud. Jesus is walking through a town called Jericho, and he comes across a crowd. And in the crowd is a man named Zacchaeus. And Zacchaeus is a chief tax collector. He's rich. And the crowd thinks that he has probably gained his money by stealing, because back in that day, tax collectors would take taxes from you, but they would also take a little bit more of your taxes in order to keep some for themselves and to give some to Rome. So it's assumed by the crowd that Zacchaeus has stolen more than his fair share of the money. So they're resentful of him. But Zacchaeus comes in, and he's short in stature, and he wants to be able to see Jesus, but he can't see him over the crowd. So he climbs this tree in order to get a better vision of Jesus. And Jesus sees this, and he tells Zacchaeus to come down from the tree, and that Jesus wants to spend more time with Zacchaeus. So Jesus invites himself over to Zacchaeus' house for the night. But while Jesus does this, the crowd grumbles against him and against Zacchaeus and says, why is he going to the house of a sinner? Well, this is what Jesus does throughout his ministry. He goes to those who are on the outside, or those who are outcast, those who are thought of as other, those who are scapegoated, and he wants to invite them back into a loving community. And this is all about transforming our relationships with one another, so that we live in relationships of love and compassion with all people, including those that we may think of as our enemies. But notice that Jesus doesn't go after Zacchaeus and say, hey, Zacchaeus, you have to change your ways in order for me to love you. Jesus just loves him. And I think that's one of the messages of this story, is that no matter who we are, or what we have done, or what we have left undone, God is searching us out, wanting to be in relationship with us and wanting to form us in relationships with one another in the spirit of love. And so I think a good discussion amongst your family could be, how have you been each character in this story during your life? How have you been Zacchaeus, the one who's kind of on the outside, the one who's marginalized? Have you ever experienced that in your life? Of course, we all have. And how did you feel about that? And have you ever been part of a crowd that united in anger or hostility or even hatred against someone else who was on the outside? Have you ever desperately wanted to be part of a group so badly that you would join a group like that, or simply find yourself in a group like that? Have you ever been in that situation? Of course, we all have. We've all been there before. What was that like for you? And how can we avoid joining groups like that in the future? And have you ever been a Jesus character in this story? Have you ever formed or tried to create a friendship with somebody that maybe the larger culture doesn't like so much? Have you ever tried to be friends with someone at school that nobody else liked? And what was that like for you? What would it be like if you tried to do that? And finally, how could we be like Zacchaeus and get a bigger view of God's love for all people and the whole world? Thanks for watching. Hope you can join us this Sunday, October 30th at 10:30 here at Lake Oswego United Church of Christ. Until then, grace and peace be